It's over. I genuinely think it's all over. I don't think LeBron is going to be able to go on any more than he already has. The Los Angeles Lakers have once again been bounced out the first round by the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets dominated in the first 3 games, however the Lakers won game 4 and people thought they were going to try to pull off this crazy comeback winning in 7. However, in game 5, Jamal Murray once again hit another game winner and he sent the Lakers home.
Going to overtime. Jokic a screen, Murray to try to break the tie.
And with the way LeBron has been acting and the things he's been saying, you question whether or not he should keep playing the game of basketball.
As close to perfect as possible. And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Everyone knows there was this plan that LeBron had basically set about 4 years ago. His plan was to join the Lakers, and eventually when Bronny got time to enter the NBA, he was going to play with them. Whether it was Bronny joining the team that Bron was on or vice versa, it didn't matter. LeBron said he wanted to play with his son. And I mean, that's the perfect ending, right? One of the greatest players of all time who played a very long career playing with his son. However, that plan seems more difficult as time has gone on. Given the medical problems that Bronny had last season at USC, the fact that Bronny did not necessarily have a good freshman year and his draft stock is in question. In fact, some scouts are saying the only reason why Bronny might even get drafted is for the possibility of that team getting LeBron. And I mean, in all fairness, if you have to spend a 2nd round pick just for the possibility to get LeBron James, I feel like that's an opportunity you have to take. Now, to be fair, this isn't 10 years ago where you're getting arguably the best player in the game. Granted, at age 39, LeBron James is still a great player in the NBA and he's still going to make an impact. And as far as a marketing / business perspective, getting LeBron is also something you want to do, so you get a lot of notoriety to your team. But even if LeBron leaves the Lakers to go join his son, who cares? Now, that might sound harsh, but I need you to understand something. LeBron is almost at the age of 40 years old, and this man has accomplished so much as far as basketball history. He has no reason to keep going, and if he wanted to retire at the end of this season, I don't think anyone would be mad at him. He's a 4-time NBA champion. He's a 4-time MVP. He's won a gold medal. He's part of the NBA 75 anniversary team. He's played in the All-Star game 20 different times. He just won the inaugural NBA in-season tournament and won the MVP of that thing. He is the all-time leading scorer. He has accomplished so much and has done things that a lot of players will never get to do. We're never going to see another LeBron James in the game of our basketball. So what is he still playing for? What does he have left to do? Some might say he's trying to win 6 or 7 NBA titles so he can pass Jordan as far as GOAT status. But I'm sorry to say, if LeBron is not already your GOAT, then he is never going to be the GOAT. Because the fact of the matter is, if we're going off championships, then LeBron lost that fucking argument in 2011. Because some people say, oh, Jordan went 6-0, that automatically makes him better than Bron. And your opinion is your opinion, and this is not a GOAT video, but the fact of the matter is, there is no GOAT debate at this point. You either think LeBron is better than Jordan, or you think Jordan's better than LeBron. There is no in between. There is no way either player can pass each other. But in the words of J. Cole himself, they act like 2 legends cannot coexist. But again, that's not why I'm making this video, because I don't think LeBron has to compete in this stupid ass GOAT debate. I think LeBron has already done everything in his career that he needs to do. He set out a goal when he came into the NBA to win a title for his city. And guess what? He did that shit in 2016 in one of the best ways possible. Hell, even in 2020, you can make the argument he won the NBA title for the Lakers and for Kobe Bryant. Like I said earlier, he has set multiple records, he has multiple accomplishments, he's done everything he needs to do. And like I talked about earlier, we're starting to see these signs where it looks like LeBron is just slowly getting away from the game of basketball. For example, over a month ago, LeBron started a podcast with JJ Redick. Mind the Game Pod with LeBron James and JJ Redick is a podcast that the two have been doing, and honestly, they're very intriguing episodes. But I bring this up because it reminds me of a different player that did something very similar. A little under 2 years ago, Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, 2 players in the NFL who are very good at their respective positions, decided to start a podcast. The concept was 2 brothers in the NFL talking about the NFL and just stuff going on within the game. And surprising to a lot of people, it absolutely blew up. Now, the reason for this is probably due to the fact that the Kelces are very entertaining people. And specifically, Jason Kelce is someone I want to bring up because Jason Kelce for the past couple years has been flirting with the idea of retirement. And when he started the podcast, some people thought it meant that he was going to soon be retiring. And just this last season, Jason Kelce announced that he would be retiring from the NFL. So then you start thinking about it. Did Jason Kelce start his podcast just so that he could have something to do as soon as he retires? I mean, the podcast has over 2 million subscribers on YouTube. I know it's making them a lot of bread, and it's probably really fun to do. So if we apply this to LeBron, is there a possibility that LeBron is getting into the podcast game because he wants to still be in the game of basketball, just not as a player? I mean, if we're going off the NBA, JJ Redick did something very similar. August 5th, 2020, inside the NBA bubble, JJ Redick starts his own podcast with Tommy Alter called The Old Man and the Three. And then 11 months later, on that same channel, he announces his retirement. Now I'm saying if LeBron is going to retire, this is exactly how he's going to do it. Well, there's a possibility. Again, when I say LeBron is leaving the game of basketball, I don't mean just the game itself. As a player, yes, but LeBron has made it very clear he either wants to be a coach or an owner. And I think being in the podcast game is still a way to be inside the basketball realm, especially the way he does it. See, a lot of basketball podcasts just talk about what's going on or have their own little twist on it. I genuinely think LeBron is one of the only basketball podcasts that are well produced, that is well done, that actually explains the game in depth the way he does. And this is no diss to anyone else who has a basketball podcast. I once had one at one point, but I would say 50% of the time was us having real good conversations about the game, and the other 50% was us doing some stupid shit.
He has the funds, you don't. That's true.
Yo, should we bring back the starting five? Also, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Oh, and like the video as well. Now, something else that might allude to LeBron retiring or leaving the Lakers is something that he said right after Game 3.
I'm not a guy that you should ask that, because I don't feel a way about anybody that don't want to strive to be as close to perfect as possible. And it's just basketball.
Now, when people saw this, they ran with this narrative that LeBron was done, he had given up, and he has nothing left. But I'm here to tell you that that clip was taken out of context. The entire clip was him talking about the mental side of it and how at the end of the day, it is just basketball. It's not that complex. But people took this and they ran with it. They tried to make this narrative that LeBron has given up, he's being childish, and he's done, and he quit on his team. I mean, you had some YouTubers making videos about this, trying to portray a narrative that just wasn't true at all. And I mean, if he really did quit on his team, then why in Game 4 did the Lakers win? And in Game 5, why did they have a chance to win? If Jamal Murray misses that shot, there is a 50-50 chance the Lakers can win that game, pushing it to 6. But this is just the LeBron James media cycle. Also, something else to keep in mind is reporters are starting to ask LeBron about his future, and LeBron has said time and time again he doesn't know. Even in a tweet as far as April 30th, he said he has no idea what the future is for him. He's going to focus on spending time with his family, and then he'll eventually come up with a decision, which I think that's really all you can say at this point. At the end of the day, LeBron has done everything he can for the game of basketball, and if he chooses to leave the game by tomorrow, I think we should all allow it. LeBron has done so much for the game. He has excelled in just about every single way, and say what you want about this man, but coming from Akron, Ohio the way he did, and the rise of LeBron in the past 20 years that we've seen, we're all going to miss this man when he retires. And as a former LeBron hater myself, I feel like we're at the point where we have to acknowledge him, whether we like it or not.
How much pressure do you feel?
There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. I've been getting pressure since I was 10 years old. I don't think there's no pressure for me because I'm doing something that I love to do, and that's play the game of basketball. I'm doing the same thing that y'all love to do, and that's y'all like to watch me play basketball. If I ask y'all that question, y'all gonna say the same thing. I mean, is there any pressure to ask me these questions? There's no pressure because y'all know how to do what y'all do, right?